Newbee.
Yeah,
Here we
there we
go.
go.
Headsets are on. What bans
That's
are
the
we
sign.
getting? That bounty edge, honestly, Newbee, they are properly
really hate bounty.
PTSD'd after that game today. They just don't want to play though against those heroes. Are they going to ban the
And
edge
there's
as
a
well?
disruptor ban from
Yeah.
Mineski. You know, I think the reason
There's
Newbee
the
don't
edge
like
again.
the bounty is because they love to come out of nowhere and set up kills on people. And bounty is kind of this obnoxious guy that can easily spot your approach.
And
I think
the worst thing is what it enables tinker pickers, and everybody hates a tinker picker.
they do.
They don't want to play against
They
a
do.
tinker picker.
They don't.
This is smart. This is what I want to see from SK.
Naga Disruptor
ban Disruptor, ban the
Enchantress
Naga
bounty
Siren.
ban,
It is Newbee again with the first pick.
Razor ban.
Okay, bit of a change up there in that one, but
That might be a whole bunch of things.
It-
I know we've
that
seen
means,
Razor used to counter Omni a lot, haven't
yeah,
we? But
Omni and Tide, the two strong offlaners
Yeah.
that KP plays, that Razor is very good against. And
Right.
Razor is something that Mineski do like to run.
Previous game, it was indeed Omni Knight, Tiny, and Bane that were banned out as well. So all three still in the pool.
I mean, I get the Bane ban, but I personally
I mean-
don't think it's worth banning compared to Disruptor or Naga Siren.
I
really
still
don't.
think okay.
There's the Omni ban because of the Razor ban. They baited that out
Yeah.
beautifully.
Newbee would have picked Omni first for
Tiny. Yep.
sure. Okay.
There's the Tiny.
And they respond with, they'll probably take
mean,
Earth Spirit.
Earth Spirit, Witch Doctor, Night Stalker, Bane
Yeah,
are the four
I'd say Earth
supports.
Spirit,
that-
Witch Doctor will be their first two, I reckon.
I still think the Night Stalker Bane was good. We had it earlier from Mineski, just pretty sure. The Rubik as well, we can't write off because.
I don't think
we
you
know-
want a Rubik against the Tiny. I feel like he just gets blown up.
Oh, it was
Bane,
nice. There's your
alright.
Bane. Bane Night
They
Stalker.
need something like Earth Spirit. Or Night
I
Stalker.
was still really impressed by Ninja Boogie's Night Stalker.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
true.
why I didn't just go back for that.
The silence is good
It's
as well.
pretty, and it's a hero that doesn't get too fussed about being comboed down by Tiny.
Also, you know what else it does? If you've got a Tiny that wants to jump on people, if you restrict his vision with the Night Stalker, I think that's really good to stop people just getting jumped. They're going for the escape.
This is nice as well, though. It takes that SK away from Newbee.
That's good.
Getting
a block
rid of that,
pick, a
that
classic
Kaka hero.
block pick.
Yeah. I'm much happier with what Mineski's done with this opening to the draft. This is
It's more
This is what you need to be doing against Newbee. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jabs plays quite a bit of Sand King. Not every game's very successful, but like he has like a 50% win rate or so.
And win rate's always hard to look at because it's, especially when it's sort of the heroes, because it's like, it's not Jab's fault necessarily
you
that
kind
their
of
win
need a
rate's not that
measure-
great.
You need a measure of hero success. I mean,
Because
they've got that.
yeah,
haven't
because
they, on
Mineski
Dota?
haven't been winning every game, unlike teams like Newbee. So the win rates on the heroes are going to be lower.
It is
so.
still lower than their team's average win rate.
Okay, that's a good comparison to make.
Hey, that's
Dota.
a new hero.
All right, that's your sort of Roma and your Crusher. Probably going to be Kaka playing that. KP on the offlane Tiny.
You can toss into Crash.
Yep.
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
can toss
That
them on
is
top of the
properly
StarLadder. You
scary.
can toss the StarLadder away.
You
This
can
is
toss
great.
StarLadder off, or you can toss them off to StarLadder.
That's true. The fishy toss off.
So how do you deal with the amount of aggression? I feel like Newbee opener is really aggressive. So how do you deal with that amount of aggression if you're Mineski?
Pray. I think you've got to be scared of this combo. That is an explosive combo.
Yeah.
I think Mineski are comfortable. I think that, you know, this. If you're Mineski in this situation, you know that you've forced Newbee to do something. I mean, not vastly different. We've seen, you know, StarLadder and Tiny obviously before from Newbee, but it's not the sort of the comfort opener that Newbee's just been stomping games with.
You know what, Owen? When people talk about comfort openers, do you know what I think? I think that these guys would be sick to death of playing the same hero over and over again. And I know for a fact that players often
See,
say,
well, you think
please
Kate-
don't make me play
Yeah,
so-and-so
they're
again."
thinking, thank
Yeah,
goodness
please, just
Faith
give me
has
Tiny,
not been
just give me
able to
Tiny.
pick me these heroes we've been
Exactly.
winning all the games with.
I
He's
mean,
got
yeah,
to
I
draft
honestly
something
think
different.
at
I'm happy.
some point, you get bored. It is a job. You know, you're just like, Jesus, don't make me do the filing again. No, you get to play StarLadder and Tiny this time, lads.
I mean, they're fun heroes. They are fun heroes, that's for sure. So the Rubik ban from Mineski, and Newbee themselves are actually banning out the OD, taking that away from Mineski, despite they themselves being the one that's ones that've been having a great time with it. Enigma
OD
ban.
Enigma ban, Rubik ban.
Okay, so I guess banning out the Enigma, they assume that the Tiny is actually more likely to be Mugi or SCCC playing it. PL ban, taking that away from Mushi. Mushi's got to look elsewhere into his pool of carries
Tide
this
is in
game.
the pool. There he is.
And he's out of the pool,
He's out of the pool. He's onto dry land.
into the fight.
Now, what do you do as Newbee? Where are they going to put this Tiny? Is this going to be like a safe lane Tiny?
Well,
or-
I wondered if it was going to be the KP Tiny, but as I said, with the Mineski ban on the Enigma, I mean, it's Newbee, you never know. They could throw that everywhere. They could have it mid or safe. For sure. I mean, I would have been more likely to expect it to be KP, but we'll see.
It's odd. The Razor ban has actually kind of helped out Mineski in picking the Tide as well here, because they've actually banned the Razor for Mineski. I'm wondering if that was as a result. No, I think it was because they banned Razor, Mineski banned Omni.
Yeah.
But then it did the Dazzle.
Okay, so full in on the. They've got
There's
a lot
your
of minus armor.
A lot of minus armor here, baby.
I mean, this is, for me, it's setting up for maybe something flashy like the SCCC Templar Assassin. I would love to see come through. Shadow Fiend's still pretty solid here. If SCCC just wants to run that one again.
I mean, I think Blitz was saying the other day, if Shadow Fiend is in the pool, pick me Shadow Fiend.
Okay.
Every time. Like this, literally, he just thinks it's like the easiest one mid that you can. And we saw SF crush that last game. He did fantastic. All right, he was up against a puck, and I feel like SF is not really too worried about that, but...
But there's going to be a Bane already. You know that there's going to be a Bane. That's going to be a tricky one, surely.
Yeah, that is true. Equally, he can farm with the raises a bit, so it's not the end of the world.
All right. A bit of silence for the team fights.
You know what else that is? That is a counter to the Bane that Newbee would have picked. Like, Newbee could have picked Death Prophet because she's able to farm regardless of the Enfeeble.
Yeah, you're right.
which
Death
we've
Prophet
seen
would
as
have
a
been nice
response.
on Newbee's lineup. It
And
would
they
have been
take
nice
a
for them.
Medusa.
All right, so already good ways of keeping that Medusa alive, and very nice ways of sort of having the control to allow Medusa to get to work between the Crush and the Avalanche. Got to remember, Tiny, of course, did get that nerf to the toss cooldown.
Yeah.
708. But still deemed to be first pick material.
Medusa,
for
of
Newbee.
course, from 800 at level 20.
That's
800
true.
mana to
Nerf on
700
Medusa as well.
Rip Medusa.
My goodness, what will she ever do?
Whew, shredded.
It's final ban from Mineski, actually going to be the Underlord. So, yeah, it looks like they're reading it as being the Mugi Tiny, SCCC Medusa. I mean, they can swap it around. Both of these cores very comfortable in playing both of the positions with these heroes. So just really limiting that off-lane pool that they're expecting KP to still delve
it's actually
into.
tricky.
And Mineski still looking for that hard carry. What a Newbie most worried about. What else have we seen really Mineski touch upon? I mean, again, they have that flexibility between their mid and safe laner Moon and Mushi. It's going to be Moon taking the DP mid. Mushi
AM is in the pool.
That is true.
Just a thought.
We don't see a lot of AM.
You don't, but against
There is a
second pick
Medusa.
Medusa, it's very possible. The only
True.
thing is, I think, having the Dazzle there means if she gets low, she can get graved, she can get her ult off and everything like that. But
And with a Tiny and StarLadder, there's, again, the potential for
StarLadder
Newbie to just
especially.
run you over this game if they get the players starting quickly.
Terrorblade ban.
Okay.
I
mean,
that's smart.
It's one of Mushi's favorites. And in itself, a good answer to this sort of heavy focus on physical, very high armor hero.
They need, the problem is with the offlaner now, it's like the Tide's gone, the Underlord's gone. What can you really pick that can exist in a lane? Like the Enchantress is gone, that can apply pressure to the safe lane, isn't under threat of dying repeatedly. The Omni's gone as well. It is a tough offlane pick. I think something like a Centaur wouldn't be the end of the world. Would give them some gap close. They would be very scary. StarLadder, Tiny, and Centaur running at you with Dazzle and Medusa in the backline. But they're gone for the Brew, of course. Brew's made it this far, unbanned and unpicked.
A good way to break up the fight. Something that makes it very hard for Bane to get his job done. You know, very unlikely to find the Fiend's grips on any of the cores during the engagements, with that Brew having ample opportunities to disable him with the primal split.
Also, the spin means he can keep someone out of the fight. We saw that. That was actually what stopped Dazzle in a previous game where Dazzle was picked, was the Brew was picked to just spin him in the air.
Yeah, no heals, no graves, no nothing.
Just nothing. So that's a great pick, I think. Really disruptive. As long as he gets his ult off, doesn't just get ravaged and blown up, he's going to be a real problem in these team fights.
Right, one more hero, Mineski.
I think they're
Looking
they're
for
a little
that
stuck now.
core.
Medusa, Brew, StarLadder, Tiny, Dazzle. That is a pretty scary lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, who can you have? There's not really many good heroes with a mana break capability. I mean, maybe you think of like Weaver and such, but
you can still go for the Sven to get some armor
against
back.
the corrosive haze.
I am worried about the damage output
I mean,
that
Sven
Mineski
is
have
just
compared to Newbee.
a hard hero to pull off. I know we have seen it win a game today, but
yeah,
Sven is a
I
very
mean, they
hard
have
hero
the potential
to
to blow up this Death Prophet. That is like the Tiny and StarLadder can absolutely blow her up.
maybe even just go back for the gyrocopter.
I think he's too squishy.
I think it's a really hard.
I mean, every
lineup
hero
to
at this
draft
point is
into.
going to be fairly squishy for a core position, sure.
Yeah, maybe. Wraith King. Get a Wraith King in there.
Yeah. Why not? Do you want something with a diffusal blade specifically? No, they go for the void.
The void
God,
returns.
Oh,
It's
you
your
should
boy
have known
Void.
it. You should have known.
I mean,
You like him because the letters O and D are in
I don't
his
know.
name.
I like the void.
Faceless
but
OD.
Against Newbee, when they have,
I do not know about this.
I mean, I guess you go you get the diffusal manta, and then you have got this diffusal blade core that can beat into the Medusa, but it's going to be ever so hard. I'm not as quite firmly on the hate train of Void as Blitz is,
No.
Okay.
but I will agree with Blitz on this one. This is a tough game for the Void. I don't think he's going to have an easy time in lane with
What
the
does
brew
he
there.
need to do to be successful?
I mean,
Not get drunken
that's the
haze.
thing. Yeah, he's going to have, if they get the brew against him in the lane, he's going to have a hard time to start with. He is
somehow
relatively
needs to
squishy.
catch an awful lot of heroes in that chrono.
Like he's,
And then
yeah.
his team doesn't do a huge amount of damage outside the chronosphere. Like I think the
Sure.
Death Prophet maybe could, but like, what's Sand King going to do? What's Tide going to do? They're just going to stand there waiting,
It's hard.
and you have to hope that Void can do
You've
enough.
got you got these three cores with three big ultimates: Chronosphere, Exorcism, Ravage that you're looking to fight around. Whereas on the other side, you have this Tiny and StarLadder just jumping
Rolling
in
Thunder,
every 10
Operation
seconds.
Rolling Thunder with Tiny
Alright.
and StarLadder.
It's
Well,
going to be very
I'm saying
hard.
Newbee,
I mean,
baby.
this brews. Yeah, it's.
25 minutes.
I want to see the Void win, but
Let's
my
find out
money would be on
if the
Newbee.
Void can actually be successful this game. It is over to a commentary team for our third and last game of the night. Over to Lyrical and Fogged.
Thank you so much again, Sheever. Fogged, oh my goodness gracious. We got the faceless OD as it's been penned now. What do you think?
Faceless OD. I'm kind of in agreement with them. I don't really like the Void too much, but I think I'm more of on like the Death Prophet not having a save for Mineski. I
Right.
always like having Death Prophet where you have that hero that can kind of save him a bit. The only thing they really have is like the Void protecting with Chrono and the sleep kind of saves. Other than that, they do have a lot of ways on the side of Newbee to take him out, and I think this brew pick was actually perfect to round their lineup together because they were really missing team fight, is what it came down to on the side of Newbee. Now they actually have that with the brew pick.
Oh, look at Tiny here,
We
just
love
taking
him.
his little tree
Yeah.
for a walk.
We love that.
Cutest guy in the world. Collection of polygons and happiness. But yeah, definitely. You know, they're talking about it on the panel. You got the lift up there on the Tide Hunter. You got all this minus armor that's coming out from the Newbee lineup. It feels like if this Medusa gets off the ground, it's scary stuff.
Yeah, the thing for me is like, how does Mineski end the game, right? If the game gets, even if the game gets to like a late game point, this Medusa is going to be terrifying. They have to isolate her entirely, and then on top of that, there's a Dazzle who's going to make her a lot stronger. We'll see if Mineski can pull it off, though, with this Sand King plus Void combo. If they can keep getting these Chronos on multiple heroes, if they can find this Dazzle in the back lines, they get good Blink Dagger timing on Sand King, they could get some good fights coming out. But the later and later it goes, it looks harder and harder for them versus this Dusa Tiny Core, who can abuse Ancients quite nicely.
Absolutely. And that might be one of those big contested points as well, because the
Yes.
Tide Hunter can come in and make that happen as well. Jabs, moves over, tries to pressure for the rune, isn't going to be able to get it, and 2 apiece. So this early laning setup, we see Ice on his Tide Hunter, as it looks like he wants to come over and maybe try and contest and get that wave pull going, but Newbee are able to force him back for the moment, but it's 2 heroes up top.
Yeah, so they're going to be leaving their Void kind of alone down bottom. It's going to be with that Bane, but you know, the Drunken Haze is going to be really abusive here. And they're actually doing a dual lane. Dazzle and Brew can really take advantage and pressure the Void as well as this Bane.
Ninja Boogie. He's stuck in the trees, has to use a Tango, and it's going to take a couple more hits on his way out.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about it too much, but Dazzle is a kind of a bully in lane.
Yeah, they're going to put so much pressure on this Void, actually. It's going to be a big problem for Mineski. The heal bombs plus the Drunken Haze, Mushi is going to be really sad last hitting under this.
Meanwhile, in that lane that you're talking about, you do have the Anchor Smash. Obviously great against 2 melee heroes, but it feels like it's going to be a little bit more Mugi trying to get the denies while simultaneously applying that harassment, as we've seen Tinies do.
Yeah, we've seen the Tide versus Tiny matchup several times. It's sure you mitigate the Tiny's damage, but Tiny does so much that he actually kind of brings the Tide Hunter down quite nicely with all that burst damage from his spells, and you get that bonus from your tree, of course.
Oh, and stun there from Kaka. Ice, ice, ice. Still flirting with danger as Jabs looking for the stun.
Kaka.
Able to find it. They're going to be able to get a couple more right clicks. And first blood drawn by Jabs. A little yell from the crowd. Meanwhile, Moogie also in some trouble. They try to bring that ice, ice, ice. Outplay with the Fairy Fire, trying to take him down. And they are going to be able to get the kill.
They did not expect that Gush level up there to turn around and get that kill there. Oh, man. Great rotation coming in from Jabs, punishing that dual melee lane that you were mentioning.
Well, and now, lo and behold, we have a true and real 1v1 in the mid lane. I think the first time this series. But it's like the most boring matchup in the world.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a huge Mystic Snake there.
He will be able to get this haster in now and stun there as well. But what do you think about that matchup? The Death Prophet versus a Medusa.
They both kind of trade farm. The problem is you have to watch yourself as Death Prophet. As long as you don't eat snakes, you're going to trade farm just fine. But the lane is now, we know that the ramp was changed. This is quite a while back, but it's pretty hard to dodge those snakes from time to time. But yeah, they both just going to nuke the waves. So we didn't mention that Medusa has some talent changes, of course.
Right.
As they were talking about on the panel, the level 10 and level 15 talents have changed, as well as that level 20, 800 mana has been reduced.
I mean, 700 mana is not really
yeah, it's not really that
big of a
nothing
deal.
to write home about.
Moogie is just going to back off again as they're trying to force him away. But yeah, does the Mystic Snake change really make that much of a difference in your opinion?
What was the exact numbers? Because I know they changed the talent, so I was trying to get a glance at the snake. Or the talent, sorry. Yeah, Mystic Snake cast range reduced, and then the talent, it was buffed, the level 15 one. Right. So you get the 20% Mystic Steel if you want to go for that one.
I mean, that's sort of another tough one. Like, that attack speed is so good for your farming speed, and pretty hard to justify it, but...
Yep. Kaka in some trouble here.
Good bit of damage. They're going to be able to apply Caustic, chasing him down. This guy's already gone down once, but he'll be able to make his way out of there.
Yeah, Stick's very important in that top lane versus Tidehunter for Anchor Smash. Get all those charges.
SC taking some damage here from Moon. The Spirit Siphon going through and doing kind of an interesting little bit of, like, the mana versus health management with the Mystic Shield, or the Mana Shield.
He doesn't want to have the Mana Shield on the whole time when the drain's coming out, because he wants to have mana to be able to Mystic Snake in the lane. It's really important for him to be able to push back that Death Prophet.
A lot of people just think Medusa, you walk around and, eventually right-click, but in the laning phase, a lot of min-maxing that can go on.
Definitely. So both offlaners, they're doing kind of the similar thing. They're pressuring. However, we look at the Void's last hits, 10 on Mushi, while several more on the opposite side on the Tiny. SCCC looks to be pretty dead here.
Yeah.
Kills the regen.
Deny. A little bit of spite always feels good there, but Kaka...
Jabs is making all the right moves right now.
I'm going to put a little bit more punish here onto him. He had that, I think, sprint enabled as well, so he took a little bit of extra damage. I'm not sure. And maybe Jabs can be able to find him again. Does have stick charges. The stun off cooldown. Nice stun from Kaka, though.
Jabs is, like we said, he's part of all 3 kills. He's actually has all 3 kills as well for his team. Nice, very nice rotations.
Having a really good time of it. And you take a look at the CS across the board. Tiny Death Prophet about on par. The Tidehunter's gotten a lot, as well as the Brewmaster. And in the meantime, top lane, Kaka almost going down. Jabs not able to fully punish. Oh, does he hit it blind? He's thinking about it. They drop down the ward, spots him out. The chase, it's not going to be enough. He sees him, though. Trying to play around that vision.
Jabs is stalking. So as we were mentioning, the bottom lane, there's a lot of pressure coming out. This Void is really suffering on the farm. We were saying the Dazzle puts a lot of pressure, and then Drunken Haze, of course, making it really hard to last hit. Getting this courier would be very difficult for Jabs. It would require him to hit it 3 times.
A little bit too far. 5.5 minutes in. Still just 3-0 as the Void tries to farm to his best content. And is this a game where he needs to get a ton of farm to be able to find kills? Like, it feels like they don't have much damage thrown to the Chrono.
They're just very reliant on their ultimates from Mineski. He ideally wants to be able to get that, like the panel was mentioning, the Diffusal Manta kind of build, or if he really wants to feel greedy, go that Battle Fury to try to match what Newbee has. But I think they want to be able to take this game a little bit earlier on the side of Mineski. They don't want to take it too late with their lineup. So I would think some earlier aggression items would be the key.
Okay.
Rather than that Battle Fury.
Faith now picks up an invis, going to head back towards the bottom.
The Drunken Haze.
God, It's so frustrating to play against.
Denies the catapult in his face, too.
Taking away clarity. Ninja Boogie might be in some trouble here if they can find it. The slow to start. Faith gets the heal bomb as well. That's going to be a poison touch on the Ninja Boogie. Slowed down and maybe going to kill off. They do get a bash onto Faith there, and he's going to end up, Trade of the Nightmare. He sleeps, maybe a kill. It's going to end up being the going the other way. And KP now in trouble. Brain Sap, the jump, the chase. Can he get a bash? It's not quite there, and KP walks away.
Was big there from Mineski, though. Getting that kill, making sure that Void's not so limited. He's starting to catch up a bit in last hits, too. And now he forces the Brewmaster out of the lane.
The big one that definitely feels to be winning, though, is Moogie up there.
Yeah.
41 and 10 right now on that Tiny.
Even though they died, they both died in that lane up when the rotation came from Jabs. He's still just farming just fine, as we kind of figured he would since he's a Tiny, able to cleave off of the wave.
Jabs tried to go for a little bit of damage onto that courier, but he'll be now just drawing a creep wave towards him. Needs to head back towards the mid since Faith is here, and should be able to walk away after the fact. And, well, okay, he's going to take a couple more hits from Faith first. As Ninja Boogie moves in. For the first time not playing as Witch Doctor, still making his presence felt, though. The sleep is going to be there. The Burrow Strike to follow. The damage is out. The man is dead.
Nice rotations from the supports this game. Moogie top.
Another catch there. KP's down.
All right, ice, yeah.
Oh, excuse me, yeah.
I got you. Just very used to seeing KP play that Tide.
He plays that watermelon a lot.
They chain stunned him nicely there with the toss. The Tide Runner actually had wand charges, but was unable to use them since he's in the air.
Down 8-minute mark. It's going to be an illusion rune at the bottom. So these top CS right now, all looking pretty much like it's Newbee, with the exception of the DP. Is this something you're starting to get concerned about, this laning stage, feeling like it's going Newbee's way?
I think Newbee's lanes are just stronger than Mineski's at the end of the day here. I think Mineski should be pretty happy that they've got the 5 kills that they've got. They don't know that they're at a goal disadvantage either, right? So
yeah, they're
probably like, okay, this is all right. We've gotten a bunch of kills around the map. Japs is making nice moves. I'm curious to see what the item build is by Mamushi. I want to see what he's thinking about going for.
Yeah.
So Moon is going to be going for that Yules, of course, on the Death Prophet, as we see. The one thing that we didn't get to talk about too much is how impactful the Death Prophet silence could actually have in this game. Very good versus Brew, very good versus the Dazzle if they can find him. Mushi wanting to set up a gank. They want to kill the Deuce, so they want a bigger target, but they could transition into a tower push with the kill.
Oh, and there she is. They're looking in the jungle. Spot him out right by the shrine. This is like the worst possible place to go after SC. Yeah,
they can kill mid and take a tower. That's probably the big goal. They might not have to use... Oh, but the Deuce is actually coming in.
This is a big moment. Faith is there as well, though. They're locking forward. The Chrono's available. Thinking about dropping it. They're waiting for the Grave as well. They are going to end up using it. Faith is still within range, but this is still going to be Dusa going down. He can't get the Grave off, and so Mineski find the kill on the Dusa who they wanted, and KP pops his ulti. Jabs goes up to the high ground. They're going to jump away from this. If they can catch Mushi, maybe it's going to be worth it, but they've already lost a lot. Exorcism going out. Mushi jumps away. He's still walking, and they get the lift up. The rest of them chasing.
Can they close the gap with everybody? Here comes the Tiny. Here comes StarLadder. They should have enough chain stun to bring down Mushi.
Well played there to take down that Faceless Void.
And they defend their tier 1 tower versus the first Exorcism usage. But Dusa did die, so.
Still haven't seen a Ravage yet from the Tide Hunter. As looks like it's just those trades off that are happening. Arcane Rune for Death Prophet. Would have loved that a couple minutes ago.
Definitely. But the tower's quite healthy, actually. Pretty surprising.
Yeah. That's something that, you want to get that down as early as possible. The catapult wave is now here, and still 70 seconds before Exorcism's back up. But I guess that's the strength of Dusa in a certain way, is you can just constantly spam out the wave.
Yep.
Void?
Top lane, the first hit bash. The Gush follows through. Kaka should be able to run away.
Time dilation is always frustrating, but Mugi was waiting off to the side and ready to jump if things got scary.
So Mugi is going to have a very, very early Blink Dagger on this Tiny, so he can put a lot of pressure. And many of these heroes are burstable. Even Death Prophet at one point can get bursted if there's no HP, if he's not sitting at full HP on her.
And that's what you were mentioning earlier. This is there's no save mechanism really, except just try and kill them faster than they can kill us.
Yeah, I'm never really a huge fan of the Death Prophet without that save, as I was mentioning.
Oh my God! Look at that stack. There's a lot of those prowlers in there.
Yeah,
it's a bit scary.
A A lot of HP regen. But that's the key for like a Dusa and Tiny lineup. You want to have those ancient stacks to accelerate your farm. Mugi's going to be the big playmaker with KP, while the Dusa just kind of farms the mid tower again.
Well,
really trying to knock this one down.
They get the silence onto 2. They do not get the deny. And again, just that strength of the Tidehunter who's moving in there, and it's hard to walk into a Ravage.
Yeah, that threat. They didn't have Brewmaster split either. And like we mentioned earlier, Newbee's real only team fight in this game is the Brewmaster. The rest of it's just kind of these short cooldown spells that get thrown out by the Tiny and by the StarLadder.
KP again going to pull the wave.
Yep. Both blink. The blink is going to be coming out on him on a very decent timing as well. Probably about that like 13.5-minute mark.
And at that point, you try and make some fights happen, I guess, with Newbee, or do you play more reactively at this point?
You can play for objectives.
Okay. Gush, Kaka gripped and gone.
And Moon with the kill secure.
Classic mid lane player.
Yep. So now they want to be able to take out this top tower. They might actually be able to save Exorcism for this one because it was relatively low. So they might be able to push for a tier 2 or even try to take a fight bottom if the Tidehunter's in range. But they are a bit low on mana on Bane and Tide and Sanking. So they might actually just go for some trade here. Transition into a tier 2. Yules is coming out.
Well, in bottom lane, as you said, they're making that trade happen.
Yeah.
All this pressure is coming, farming out the rest of the jungle at the same time.
Mineski's doing a good job of warding. You see them. They were actually watching both Ancients. One just got dewarded, though. The one that has the big Ancient stack. Newbee was able to take that one out.
Another sleep here. Over by the Shrine. A scary place to fight as Moon is forward, but they get the kill nonetheless. Just a lot of damage coming out from those guys. And
yeah,
Newbee keep on losing heroes here and there.
Mineski wants to take this Ancient stack. Oh,
this is big. And look at the damage coming out. They actually almost took out all of those Prowlers right at the start. And they're gone.
Well, Deuce is going to be sad.
Oh, they thought about it. KP there. He pops the ulti. Mushi does have a chrono here if he wants to use it to try and make sure the rest of his team can get away. That physical damage onto the Death Prophet, really hard to deal with. And they are going to chrono to try and secure the escape. But the problem is Moon is still dropping in spite of that. And running away yet again. They're making their way out. The silence a little bit off the mark, and there's the blink. KP gets the kill as they're trying to chase for more. The toss forward, Ninja Boogie, caught for the moment, crushed and killed.
Well played, they say. Mineski got the whole stack, but whenever Brewmaster split is up, Newbee is trying to take the engagements. They did deny a lot of farm from SCCC, though.
So you were mentioning before, how does Mineski win this game? How do they sort of, try and put a finish on it? And it's starting to feel a little bit like Newbee is getting all their items that they need to take fights.
Yeah.
I guess likewise. Well, Avatos, nice catch there. Almost get him. Heal bomb. Faith gets the kill.
This is the fear of the Tiny. Mineski, though, in position. They're looking to take a fight. They've got Exorcism. Ninja Boogie.
Eyes on him, sleep onto one. They've got the grip. Faith ends up popping out that weave, but they might be able to get a second here. Ravage connects onto 2. Kaka's also caught, but they do have a Faith in the area that can maybe help them out. They're going to be able to get out of there anyways. But they do get the tiny kill.
Yep, they didn't have to expend the Death Prophet ult either. Moon really didn't want to use it because he was still level 11. And they want to use that on an objective, take a tower with it.
I can't help but feel that this kill score isn't quite indicative of the current state of the game.
No, definitely not. They are at least farming a bit more on their supports. We saw that, I believe, Jab's picking up the Blink Dagger already on the Sanking, and Kaka's quite a ways away on the StarLadder as opposing 4.
I mean, as a player, is that a thing, though, where you see the kill score and you feel like you're doing, better than it actually is? Or what do you think as a former player yourself?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you can feel like it's like, all right, you probably have a feeling like, okay, they might be out farming us, but you're definitely the kill advantage is going to even it out a little bit, and they've taken a bunch of towers, so they're probably feeling still pretty okay about it. But they have, the big fear is that the Dusa, they've only killed her, like once?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's, Dusa's starting to get that farm caught back up, or twice, sorry, get that farm caught back up.
Well, and Mineski going to start to move together as SC farms around the map, taking another stack of Mineskis.
The biggest fear when you're playing versus these super late game dominators when you're in these type of games is when you don't see these heroes for a long time. It's like, we have not seen Dusa for 6 minutes, guys. This is scary. But now, with that fresh Arcane Rune on Moon, very convenient.
Nice.
This should be a very free Roche for Mineski.
We'll see if Newbee have any inkling that this is happening.
I think it's too tough for them to fight into this. Even if Ravage is on cooldown, Chrono plus Exorcism, still quite strong at taking those engagements.
Is Solar Crest the normal build nowadays on Death Prophet?
When you're playing versus StarLadder and Dazzle, I think it's pretty strong, yeah.
Okay.
We saw, when it was OP, when it was really broken, we saw Envy was doing that kind of build on everybody. But yeah, versus this lineup, definitely need some armor early on.
It's Echo Saber next for the Tiny, as he is only about 300 gold away from finishing that one off. And of course, I mean, at that point, he can kill just about everybody, right? Maybe not the Tide Hunter?
Yeah, for the most part, he should be able to burst like anybody. He's going to have some chain follow-up stuns, too, from his team.
Right.
Hit Kaka, sprinting through that river very quickly.
Moving up top, Tide Hunter alone, 4 heroes converging.
Very far up. He should get brought down quite easily here.
I mean, he has Ravage if he wants to pop it. Going to try and TP, but there's going to be the toss. Boom. And he did not live for long. My goodness.
Yeah. Minus armor is still pretty good versus Tide. You can crack and shell it off, but during the time of it being there, you did take a lot of damage.
Solar Crest just about completed for DP, as they're going to smoke up.
They've got the Tide Hunter respawning soon. They've got Death Prophet ulti up in 14 thanks to that glorious Arcane Rune that they picked up outside the pit. This might catch Newbee off guard.
They also have buyback on Tide if they wanted to force the fight earlier. It seems like that'd be a really risky move, but fighting around this Tier 1 tower maybe. KP there, walking forward, Burrow Strike, that's the reveal of it from Jabs. They find KP, they're going to be able to get the Nightmare. This is still before Ravage is there, and they just got the Echo Saber turned over as well. They Chrono, able to catch onto 2 actually, a nice play, and they're also able to get the Vision there, Epicenter. It's not going to hit on anybody, but a great fight for Mineski.
Yeah, they saved... Newbee didn't want to fully engage on that once they saw the Exorcism getting committed. There's 4 heroes there. Now they do know, though, Chrono and Exorcism were committed, so this could be what we see. As soon as we KP respawns, we're going to see a smoke come out probably from Newbee and try to take some engagement. Got to take advantage of those long cooldowns when you don't have as many on your team.
So you think even with Ravage up, it's still confident enough for Newbee to take the fight?
Yeah, with Brew, because if he can spot that Tide, you just throw him in the air over and over again. And they just need to make space, right? They don't want to probably bring the Deuce in it. They're just going to make some like 3-man smoke rotation, let Deuce just keep farming, because as we see, SCCC, top of the net worth. He's been quietly farming in the sidelines. They have not seen him in a very long time, and almost the Hurricane Pike finished up. Level 16 already on this Dusa.
Yeah, and level's so important. We talked about that talent. Nerfed a little bit, but still incredibly powerful. Medusa, one of those late game carries that's just a monster to deal with.
Yeah.
And he didn't take the newly improved talents, I don't believe.
No.
It's just the damage.
There's like a mix between it. I've heard some people, I've seen like Sumail and a couple other players, for the most part, take the Mystic Snake Mana Steel, but the attack speed is also quite nice because you don't really get too many attack speed items. Sure, you get Agi, but not that straight boost in attack speed.
Smoke up, you talked about it. These abilities are on cooldown. Solar Crest done for the Death Prophet. Now they're going to spot some heroes across the road.
Oh.
They end up missing the stun. They managed to find the sleep as well. It's about as good as a death you can take, as you expended a lot of spells for it, but Mineski need to back up now.
Yeah, whoops.
Affirmative. Faith still chasing.
The
Scary moments.
Weave is starting to build up on the Tide Hunter here.
They have that amplified damage as well. Corrosive Haze, excuse me, and they also have a Ravage available if they want to try and turn this one. A scary one indeed. They find a catch there. That's going to be Kaka dead. But they've already popped the Brew Split as well, and now the Faceless Void trying to get away with the rest of his team, but the Death Prophet left behind. They're going to pop the ulti as well from that Medusa. The runaway, trying to turn not into a stone form. 17 stick charges, not enough to keep her alive. But the Epicenter turnaround, is that really the fight that you want to take? It's underneath the Sentry Ward. She's coming back in. Possibly a chance, possibly a way. They're starting to bring down that Dusa. SCCC, they find the Chrono onto 3, right on the edge. But do they have enough damage to bring her down throughout the duration of this? I don't know. Faith gets off the grave. SC still walking away. They get the kill onto Dazzle and still chasing for this kill onto SC. This is going to be enough right there as they find the finish, and Dusa going to drop. A great fight for Mineski.
Yeah, the Exorcism came up right at the end there with the Chrono. Both cooldowns, both coming up right at the ideal moment for Mineski. Newbee just overcommitting and overchasing a little bit too much and getting punished real heavily. And now the objective with that Death Prophet ultimate.
Wow, that's another Tier 1 tower going to go down as Tiny was able to hide and now going to TP away. Has a Yasha done as well. It's almost starting to feel like this is Mugi is getting very farmed on this Tiny.
He's very farmed, yeah. He's got to be. What build did we see coming out on the Void? I'm pretty sure I saw a Yasha, and he is going to go for the Manta and probably into that Diffusal Blade, as we mentioned.
Yeah, draining away the mana from the Dusa, always very important.
Yeah. Can remove a bunch of the... He can remove that Slaughter Corrosive Haze as well. Useful item in general.
So they actually didn't get that bottom tier 1 tower. Are you starting to feel like this Medusa is going to come online too quickly? Do you feel like Mineski are still in a good spot?
They just need to play around their ultis. If they can keep getting Chronos like that, they are definitely in a good spot, but wanting to press the advantage a little bit more at the Death Prophet is ideal. But they can still play around those Roshas really heavily and abuse those Refresher Shards with their lineup. Yeah, it is a very good Refresher Shard team on all three, Void, Death Prophet, and Tidehunter.
Void actually going for the 20 damage, I think I saw, but then...
the 300 health afterwards, yeah.
So needing to make sure that he gets a little something extra. Kaka, there's going to be the Manta, and the jump away. Fine and dandy for the Void.
Mineski trying to keep those lanes shoved out while they had their ultis on cooldown. But now 20 seconds until that one, they go for a smoke. Can they get the catch? Chronosphere is available.
Looks like they wanted to wait for Mushi there.
Yeah.
And
SCCC is starting to ping the high ground near his Ancient, so it does seem like he knows something is up here. Maybe expecting Mineski to do this play with their ultis being coming back up.
I mean, Newbee have vision in this area. They feel like they're safe, but now they spot SCC completely left alone. They're not quite able to get their epicenter. Does connect. It's not quite enough. Stone Gaze, as you said, is the turn. Kaka gets a crush onto 2, and now they need to back out. KP gets his ulti off as well. They're turning onto Mugi, trying to kill him off. The Ravage connects onto all 5 heroes, but they were able to get that Bruce split off nonetheless. Another stun. Sand King's done, and that's going to be Bane gone also. Everybody falling from Mineski. Tidehunter just trying to waltz away from all of this. They got the kill on the Tiny, but they might lose almost everybody else as they chase down Ice and kill him off.
That was SCCC getting that force into that. As soon as he gets Stone Gaze off, Mineski's in a heap of trouble. And we saw them. They tried to disengage, but everybody else from Newbee was already in position. They knew. It's like they knew that was coming. You saw their positioning.
Yeah.
SCCC pings when he was on the hill, and everybody from Newbee starts coming over, and they collapse too quickly for Mineski to respond.
And it almost became like one of those, you know, the fake out things, the trap cards, if you will. You get the ward up on the high ground there, and then you think, all right, we have time to set up on him, and then they go for the epicenter, but then the Stone Gaze comes off before they can disable.
Yep. That was just clutch map awareness.
Yeah. So 15-12. It's 24 minutes in, 3,000 gold lead for Newbee. And still that tier 1 tower bottom is yet to be claimed.
Yeah. Still pretty close game on both sides. Mineski playing pretty well around their cooldowns. They still have Chronosphere available with the Death Prophet ultimate. They could maybe look to get aggressive again. As we saw from last game, they do like using their cooldowns and being a bit surprising, getting those plays that you wouldn't really expect.
So they pick up this Blink Dagger on Tide. If they see the Medusa alone, is it worth it just to solo Ravage her there?
She's alone?
Yeah.
If they can pick her, if they can kill her, definitely.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing. I'm sort of wondering, like, is it just a game of kill the Dusa at this point, pretty much?
It's going to get to that point, and the problem is now, too, she's level 20.
All right.
She's got the plus 700 mana talent. Pretty much doubles your survivability.
I don't remember what it was, like some ridiculous, like 2,000 effective HP previously or something like that?
It's still pretty close to that because of the way the shield works. If you go over it, it's, what, like 2.5 or 2.6 per damaged out, so it's plus 700. Yeah, it's still going to be about 2,000 effective HP added just from that talent.
So insane.
Yeah. So he's going to actually go for the Mjolnir build. He wants to be able to farm and deal more damage before he goes for that stat priority of the Scotty.
And making sure those lanes are pushed out constantly. But like you said, there's also the little wrinkle to this that you've got the Void with the Manta style already done, going for the Diffusal Blade. It's going to be something to watch for if he can drain out that mana. And then, of course, you've also got to worry about the Tiny. That's not necessarily an easy thing to deal with either. Mineski, again, going to go for this top lane. They have the blink on Tidehunter. If they wanted to, they could go for a jump here. They need to wait for the proper moment and bring in the Death Prophet.
Newbee is split up here. They don't have their Brewmaster here, so I don't think they want to fight by any means. And they're going to start TPing out. Is there going to be any catch from Mineski? There's not.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I think that scan by the Dire may have clipped one of the heroes. They all just bailed instantly as soon as it was thrown out.
Heads up awareness again from Newbee.
Yeah, Newbee's really reading the map quite well this game.
I mean, we were talking about Mineski making the right moves previously. They're doing it this time as Faith.
Yeah.
In the mid lane, Invis, he's going to spot out a couple heroes, and the Sentry. All right, they drop it. They're just going to grip him, and Kaka, they Ravage for this?
Ravage for him.
Okay, well, they're going to probably be able to find 2 here. Not bad at all, as the Burrow Strike's going to come through, showing off the strength of that Bane.
They could maybe transition into a Roche. They've got level 18 on the Death Prophet.
All right. Mineski bringing it back here as they're going to glyph to make sure that they don't take the tier 2 tower that quickly.
Ooh, they might actually just save the Exorcism here.
Oh, that's big.
That's very big, yeah.
I mean, can Newbee come back and come and contest this?
They don't look like they want to. Especially with those 2 heroes dead, they definitely can.
Well, Solar Crest, like we said, and style there. And Mineski taking down Roshan. It is still a lot of damage onto that tier 3 tower bottom because they are just being free to do whatever they want, but they need to be careful about the Sand King coming and breaking blinks as he jumps forward and just going to clear off the creep wave. Diffusal Blade done for Void as well.
Yep. Pretty good timing for him after having a pretty hard game. He's 1, 2, and 6, definitely struggling. But a nice little sneaky play there, using the Ravage just to get any type of advantage to get the Roche, and they get to hold their other cooldowns. The Chronosphere is online, the Death Prophet ultimate is ready. They are okay and ready to fight if it does come to them. While Newbee has to play around that Brewmaster split. But they're still, it's not like Newbee's really too upset with this or in a bad place. They definitely are feeling like Ardusa is in an enormous position. He's farming really heavily. Mugi as well is in a great spot of farming on that Tiny. And Dusa's going close to the 18,000 net worth mark at 28 minutes, assuming he's getting closer and closer to that Eye of Scotty, which is going to make him very difficult to bring down unless they can isolate him.
Well, and as you said, the Maelstrom build, it's going to give them a lot more of that farming potential as well as Mushi trying to chase, finding Kaka. There is a Dazzle nearby, but if you show your face, you might just be brought down there. They find him with the bash, still chasing. Ice 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 trying to run. They get another hit. Crypt Swarm, still hard to chase this guy down as Ice 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 is running forward. Does not want to have to blow the Ravage there if they don't need to. And, well, Eul Scepter, and that should be about curtains.
Took them a while, though, to get the kill.
Sand King, he's coming. Wants to find it. Burrow Force, they're able to catch him. Really hard to get this kill, though. They're trying to slow him down, but SC just walking away. He's slowed down now and does manage to get off his ultimate. Can they chase this any further forward? They get the stun onto the Tidehunter. He did have Chronosphere there. They're taking it all away. KP brings himself in and trying to make this work, but the Ravage comes out as well. They've got him isolated. Fiend's Grip, 3 ultimates used, but the Grave is there. They're trying to isolate the rest of the heroes from them as SC is eventually going to fall, and Mineski surging forward. They find Faith and they kill him off too.
Mineski making these very clutch movements there. Getting the catch on that Dusa is absolutely massive, and they've still got Death Prophet ultimate to go for this high ground push. 68 seconds on Dusa.
Big stuff. I mean, they've got a tier 1 tower down there in the bottom lane, but if you're pushing high ground, it almost doesn't matter. They pop that Exorcism, clearing through the creep wave now and moving forward. How did Newbee respond to this? Still 50 seconds with no Dusa.
This could just be a Rax if he doesn't want to buy back. Brew Split is available. They might go for the initiation into the buyback.
Scary stuff. There's the Abatos. They're buying back immediately. Now trying to run forward. They still could get the tier 3 tower with the last little bit of Ghost. The chase is forward. Moon trying to run away. It's still a lot of damage done on these guys. A good silence as well. So Kaka can't chase forward with the stun. He finally gets it there onto the Tide, but all these ultimates have been used, and it's going to be wearing off soon with the Exorcism as well, as they've got the lifted up Death Prophet running forward. They find themselves another kill. Mushi is dead, and now they've also got that DP under control. Try and take down Kaka, but that's going to be the Aegis, and the rest of them just need to retreat. Round 2 does not last long.
No, definitely not. That is a buyback forced, so that is what Mineski was trying to do. They probably didn't want to lose so much off of it, but it was a great initiation from Newbee, and using that timing, they initiate and instantly buy back at the same time. Not wanting to lose a Rax versus this lineup. They know if they can just stall this game, keep stalling, this Dusa can absolutely solo carry.
Blows my mind how much the Sand King has been able to get in this game. Like, he had the Blink and the Force to catch up to that Dusa way back mid.
Yep. I mean, Jabs has been playing incredibly well since he's moved to this full role for Mineski. And now it's gone the other way. They're going toward the high ground here, Newbee.
Again, Mineski, they've been doing it with their team fight. They
now
buy
they have
back
to force
on the Death Prophet.
Yep.
Jump forward. There's a Burrow onto 3 jabs. Making it happen beautifully, but can they get any more after this? A Force Staff away. Ninja Boogie, they lift up again with the Euls. And it looks like they're going to be content with just buying back on 1 and calling it good there.
Yeah, Newbee knows that the Void's respawning. They know that Chrono's going to be available. They don't want to push their luck here. If they lose the Dusa, they could just lose the game. So back up, farm, wait for those buybacks to come back online. They're starting to get some big items too. We see KP has queued up the Radiance, so he's going to be able to do quite a lot of damage here, as well as mitigate the damage from that Void with that miss rate.
He's got himself level 19 also on that Brewmaster.
Yeah.
SC continuing to farm, but being oddly mortal in this game. A couple of kills, it's cost them everything. They've used everything to do it. But
he has been it was isolated though, especially that last one. He was totally alone versus 3 heroes.
Yeah. And maybe just not anticipating or respecting the catch that Mineski had. Speaking of isolation,
Newbee does not want to split up much in this versus. And a quick blink by Kaka, able to dodge, jabs, and stun.
Well done, although he's still in some trouble as they get the Chrono solo onto him. That quieted things rather quickly. 21 to 15. It's still a 6,000 gold lead right now for Newbee.
Mm-hmm.
And Gush armor, all those level 20s coming around.
Yeah. Newbee pretty much has to like kind of follow SCCC around a lot in this game. They can't let him get picked off, especially not in the next couple minutes since he has that buyback on cooldown. But they have to play the Brew kind of near that Dusa, which makes it a little bit problematic for the other lanes. Mineski now going for this push. Down bottom, they've got Exorcism and Ravage available.
I'd love to be able to shut down those shrines eventually as well. That's one of the big problems with the Dusa lineup is the mobility issues that you sometimes run into. Taking those away. But Newbee, on the same token, you know, they're ahead, but they have been losing a couple of fights just because of the way that they've been taken.
Yeah. They need to have the Brew split in order to take those engagements. If they don't, it's for the most part going to be Mineski's to take in those fights.
Yeah. Next up for Void. What do you think? Anything that really sticks out that you think he needs?
He's just got an ulti orb, so.
Right. Refresher. Oh.
He's got it fully finished up, huh? He's limited on mana, so he does bring out a Mango to try to help for that, to have that double Ravage. Still lacking a bit.
Oh, they're all there. But wait. Chrono is not there. They're not there with the Chrono. Oh my God,
Ravage
there's a Ravage. Second Ravage coming out in a second. Do they manage to hit it? He actually holds on to it for the moment. He didn't have enough mana left over, but they still find a great Chronosphere there. And Faith is going to try and keep them, rest of them alive if they can manage to get the Grave off. Nobody is really focusing that guy. SC is able to walk away from them, but there's going to be the Manta style draining all that mana. Second Ravage comes out. They connect on to everybody. IR still trying to bring down this DP completely alone. A great stun coming through from Kaka, and Tiny's starting to fall. They get the toss onto that Tide. He's going to die, and now Moon also going to fall as he does get ran down. Kaka gets the kill. It's still 3 dead from Newbee, and Mushi still left alive. KP beats him really hard in the face, and now trying to man up against Mushi. Might be able to find the kill. They get the air damage as well. They're trying to chase. They're going to have another blink up in 1 second. Chase, Crutch, Manta dodge. Mushi, get out of there. He's trying to run. They've also got another chase here in a second. If they want to make this happen, time dilation out. They have stick charges. They're still chasing.
They want this kill so bad.
Mushi just trying to run desperately. They've got Radiance going ever so slow, but he's continuing to jump.
Oh, that Manta dodge was so clutch by Mushi. Oh my God, it was looking like a really good fight for Mineski, but this is where you start seeing the Brew. Look at the damage done by KP because of that Radiance he has. Dishing out an incredible amount of damage when he lands as well, able to clean up the Death Prophet.
That was so close, just on a knife's edge there. Everybody bringing down low. And you got to wonder, like, what would have happened there if he had enough mana? Do you second Ravage right away? Do you think that that was still okay? Or
it would have been a double 5-man Ravage. You definitely go for the double. He just didn't have the mana. That's what we were looking at. He only has 730 base mana. Even with a Mango, he was about 75 mana short.
Yeah.
So it is going to be an Iascati, so just some stats for the Void.
Yeah.
He's pretty tanky. Look at that, 2,800 HP Void.
Mushi's doing it. And, I mean, solo kill potential on a lot of heroes now.
Yeah, definitely.
Even without the Chronosphere in some ways, if you can get the Manta right.
Mm-hmm. That was very clutch for Newbee there. They really needed to be able to take that fight without the Dusa. Dusa got extremely isolated there, unable to really dish out any damage with the right clicks because of the way that Mineski did play it. But KP came in clutch. That Brewmaster with Radiance. absolutely the right decision to go for that item here, just from that engagement alone.
Well, and Dusa almost has the Scotty. She only gets scarier and scarier and has the level 25 as well.
Yep. With a Mjolnir. So the modifiers
And
will start
Scotty
going
as
pretty
well.
back. Yep. A lot tankier now. Newbee, they've got split available, and it is now the third Roche has respawned. This is the most crucial thing in this game. Look at the wards. Look at this. They put both wards just to watch anything. That's how important this Roche is. The triple Ravage, the threat of triple Ravage or double Chrono is too much. If Newbee can get it,
well, and
that'll be massive.
And again, game 3, this one separates you from having to battle through that lower bracket and potentially get knocked out of this tournament. And it's only a 5,000 gold lead into the favor of Newbee. With all these big team fights, Ultimate, it's a scary moment in the game.
Ice is still about 25 mana short of having the double Ravage, but he's got a good amount of mana regen, so he should be able to once he refreshes. Right,
Is it worth it to sell the phase and just get Arcanes so you can double Arcanes, or you don't think so?
He looks like he's just going to build into Octarine to have more mana.
Okay.
If he gets that level to level 22, it might push him into there, because I think he needs exactly, what, 1,025 mana? If my math's not horrible.
Quick math.
Yeah, my math's not horrible.
Nice.
For once. His minus is up. Oh, thank you.
There it is.
So he's 1,009. So his mana regen is pretty quick. He'll have time during the Ravage to regen it, so now he does have enough to get that double Ravage out.
Speaking of double Ravage, it's time to party, moving into the pit. It's
got it
falling. They
already.
get the Aegis, but they maybe are going to be able to find a follow-up here. Do they decide to go in spite of that Aegis? It looks like the answer is no. Too scary.
Now there's a Aegis and a cheese if they want to give to that Dusa.
Oh,
That's going to
wow.
make a hell of a lot of a difference to bring him down. And Brew with Refresher Shard, double Primal.
But I guess at the same time, you kind of just need to get the Manta style and draining all that mana, which, like, they have more than enough to disable for it, don't they? If
Yeah.
they can kill everybody else.
But with Aegis cheese, this is way too much for
Okay.
Mineski to fight into.
38
in a
minutes.
very comfortable position now after that. Mineski very afraid. You see only Mushi showing himself on the map. Everybody else isolated in the base.
I guess he's going to be coming back very shortly. Does have that TP brought out to him from that inventory spot, backpack, and they are getting ready to push down this bottom lane. Newbee hoping to make something happen here as they weave up as 5. Spirit Siphon working. KP pops the ultimate. They lift up there as well with the Yule Scepter trying to walk away, and well, the Glyph is used as well, and now they've got the secondary lift up. Kaka
Ravage
able
on
to get
3.
the stun. Ravage onto 3, still chasing. It's a lot of mana gone from SC. They're going to back out. They want to try and save that Chronosphere if they can. They don't have mana right now from the Tide Hunter. They're not going to be able to get the second one to counterplay. A good Yule Scepter to keep him alive for the moment. Gain the regen from that as well, but it's
Moon's
not
dead.
enough. They take him down. Does have buyback. They're going to use it. Now chasing for more. Mushi trying to walk away from them, but SC is just doing so much damage throughout this. They're out of mana, and on the other side, they're also going to lose jabs. Mineski, they're down the 2 supports. They don't have the disable they need.
KP still has ulti available again now because of that Refresher Shard.
Oh,
As
God.
Triple C still with the Aegis. I believe they still have the cheese as well, ready to expend it.
Exorcism pop. The second Ravage comes out. They're turning now onto this
KP gets
Medusa.
the split.
All they want to do is cave down. They get the split off. The turn comes. They're starting to burn through Mineski as they end up buying back on that Void, trying to take down yet another. The Death Prophet falls. Newbee happy as clams as they start to march forward for the tier 4s and Tide Hunter's life. Double kill. Mushi the only one left, and they might just turn now onto the tier 4 towers. Stick a fork in it, they're done.
That's it, yeah. They kill him during the exorcism so quickly as Triple C buys a Desolator. They're even trying to combo and take down Mushi. Will be able to
they're
survive.
building it down. Tries to get the time walk off, but honestly, at this point, it's buildings that matter most. Desodusa and GG is called as Newbee are going to be in it. They popped the Chronosphere, but this one's already over.
This looked like it could have gone either way at one point, but Dusa did get too strong, and then being able to just take that Roche, they snuck it so quickly. That's the power that StarLadder gives you. The corrosive haze lets you kill that Roche so quickly. If Mineski's not ready to fight instantly, Newbee's able to take it, and man, KP came in so clutch with that Radiance build. That fight actually was like, I was like, oh my god, Deuce is dead for 110. They could just lose the game straight up here, but KP playing so well in this Brewmaster this game.
And it's exactly what you said. It came down to that Aegis, that fight, and Mineski just not being in position to come and contest it. They had double Ravage, they had Chronosphere, they had everything, and they just weren't there.
just died way too quickly versus that minus armor.
Oh, man. A tough break, I am sure, but Mineski showing that they definitely are a contender in this one, and
yeah.
I'm expecting to see them in the playoffs, honestly, based upon the play today.
I don't think that they should be too unhappy about that loss. That was like small little things coming in clutch for Newbee. Mineski could have definitely had a chance to take that one. Just some small little things coming in, small little fixes, but Newbee definitely played just that little edge a little bit better just with KP's Brewmaster build. It's very
Absolutely.
clutch.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send it back to the panel. Quick commercial break through, but well, day number 2, it's all in the books. See you guys in a few.
1, 2, 3.